In the depths of Kruger National Park, where the sun almost always blazes down from the sky and the savanna stretches far beyond the horizon, there lived a hippopotamus named Mfuzu, protector in the Zulu language. In the old days, Mfuzu was a giant among his kin. Massive body, strong legs, armor-thick skin, and fearsome fangs that glistened in the sun. He ruled his section of the river, guarding the herd and fighting his rivals to keep them away from the water and safe resting places. Over the years, life has made its adjustments. Dry seasons, conflicts with rivals, and age began to take its toll. Mfuzu was no longer formidable and powerful. His skin, once smooth and shiny from constant exposure to water, was now covered in deep cracks and scars. His fangs had erased, many of his teeth had crumbled, and each day he found it increasingly difficult to chew the tough vegetation that made up his staple diet. Despite his weakness, his instinct for survival never left him. He tried to keep his territory, but the young males, full of strength and energy, drove him out of the pride. Now Mfuzu wandered alone, without support, without protection, and without a future. Every morning, Mfuzu struggled to rise to his feet, his movements slow and painful. He walked along the dried-up banks of the river, looking for even a drop of water to quench his thirst. The river he knew from his childhood was almost dried up. The drought that had hit the park in recent months had made the familiar bodies of water shallow puddles of muddy water. The hot sun burned his skin, while hunger and thirst weakened his body. The wounds on his body that he had received in fights with other hippos and in his struggle against nature became inflamed, causing pain. Sometimes it seemed as if the whole world was against him, and the last of his strength was leaving this great beast. As fate would have it, Mfuzu's plight was brought to the attention of the Kruger National Park rangers, people who had dedicated their lives to protecting wildlife and saving animals. Their names were Kwame and Nkosi, veterans who knew every corner of the park and understood the language of the animals. When they heard from tourists about a strange and sad sight, an emaciated hippo wandering near the dried-up riverbeds, they set out to find it. The way was difficult. Scorching sun, parched grasses, silence, interrupted only by rare sounds of birds and insects. The hippo's footprints, huge and deep, led them through thickets of acacia and baobab trees, through cracks in the ground caused by the drought. Kwame and Nkosi moved cautiously, knowing that getting too close to a wild, albeit weakened beast was risky, but they were willing to do anything to save it. Finally, in the shade of the giant trees, by the last remaining body of water, they saw Mfuzu. His body was covered in cracks and wounds, his breathing intermittent and heavy. He lay almost motionless, eyes half closed as if trying to escape reality. The rangers approached slowly, careful not to scare the animal away. Kwame carefully placed a bundle of soft grass and a few leaves nearby. Nkosi began to speak softly, his voice soft and soothing. Mfuzu raised his head, barely making a faint sound, not a growl but something akin to a sigh of despair. The days passed. Kwame and Nkosi came regularly, bringing water, food, and medical supplies. Park veterinarians examined the hippo, treated wounds, administered antibiotics and painkillers. Nutrition became a particular concern. Since Mfuzu could not eat hard grass due to worn teeth, he was given soft vegetables chopped to a puree and special feed mixes enriched with vitamins and minerals. The hippo's skin was slowly but surely recovering. The wounds were healing and energy was slowly returning. Mfuzu began to move slowly, went to the water, sometimes even tried to swim, which was a great achievement for the old beast. Kwame and Nkosi became more than just lifeguards for Mfuzu. They became his friend. Every day they talked to him, telling him stories about life on the savannah, about other animals they met, and about the importance of protecting nature. Sometimes Mfuzu seemed to listen and understand. His big eyes followed them with gratitude and trust. He sometimes rubbed his hands on Kwame's arms as if to say thank you, a subtle but very meaningful sign. When Mfuzu was moved to the rehabilitation center, life changed dramatically for him. At the center, he could relax in the cool water, without fear of predators or suffering from heat and hunger. There was a quietness and care that he sorely lacked. Weeks passed. Mfuzu was getting better. His skin became smoother, his movements more confident, and his eyes calmer. He could no longer return to the wild, but that no longer seemed like a tragedy. He had a chance to live the rest of his life in safety and love. Gratitude shone in his eyes, and that was the reward for all those who cared. Mfuzu's story is a reminder that strength in nature can be fragile and greatness can be temporary. But even the strongest need support and compassion. In a world where the harsh laws of survival often seem ruthless, it is humanity and caring that can be the real miracle. We can all make this world a better place, starting with small things, taking care of nature, helping animals, and learning to understand. Thank you for being with us and listening to Mfuzu's story. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Your attention and support helps us to tell more of these stories about life in the wilderness, its heroes and defenders. See you soon.